Topic 15, Algebra 4. In this video we're going to look at how to expand double brackets. So we've got three separate methods to do so. There's FOIL, a two brackets method, and a grid method. For FOIL, so this is for FOIL, so when we're expanding two brackets, we multiply the first two terms in each bracket. So if we have x plus 7 and x plus 3, the first terms are the x and the x. So the first term of the first bracket with the first term of the second bracket. Then we multiply the outside terms together, and the outside ones are the x and the 3 because they're on the outside. Then we multiply the inside ones together. So the two inside terms are the 7 and the x. And then we multiply the last terms together. And we can see the last one is the 7 and the 3, so the last term in each bracket. So that's the method. So we multiply the first two together, then the outside, then the inside, and then the last. So what we're doing is we're multiplying every term in the second bracket by each term in the first bracket. So we're multiplying the x by the x and the 3 by the x. And we're also multiplying the x by the 7 and the 3 by the 7. So we're going to be looking at this example, x plus 5 upon x plus 6. And we're going to do it a few different ways. So x plus 5 and x plus 6. We're going to multiply, so we're going to use the FOIL method. So we multiply the first two terms together. And when we do that, x multiplied by x is x squared. Then we need to go to the outside terms. So that's the x and the 6. They're on the outside. And if we multiply x and 6 together, we get 6x. So that's the outer term. Then we need to go to the inner terms. So that's the 5 and the x. And they multiply together to give 5x. So that's I. And then we need to do the last term in each bracket, which is the 5 and the 6. And 5 multiplied by 6 is 30. So we'll have a plus 30. And that's the last term. The next thing we need to do is simplify it, and we need to collect like terms. Now there's no other x squared terms, but there is a 6x and a 5x, so they'll combine. And there's no other number term, so it'll not simplify. So what we'll have then is x squared plus 11x plus 30. Now, expanding double brackets can also be reduced to expanding two single brackets. So again, working with this example of x plus 5 upon x plus 6, we could think that it's x plus 5 lots of x plus 6. Now to do that, we would work out x lots of x plus 6. So we could write it as x lots of x plus 6, and then add on 5 lots of x plus 6. So hopefully what you can see is that the first term in the first bracket is outside the second bracket. And then we've got the plus 5 being repeated outside the bracket as well of x plus 6. So the x plus 6 is a common bracket to both. So we've got x lots of x plus 6 and 5 lots of x plus 6. And then we can multiply into those brackets, and multiply the x into the x and the 6, and we get x squared plus 6x. We can do the same with the 5. So multiply 5 into the bracket, and we get 5x plus 30. And then we look to see what terms are similar or like. We've got a 6x and a 5x, and they combine together then to give us x squared plus 11x plus 30, which is what we had previously. Or we can use a grid method and use it to find an area. Now we may have done long multiplication like this before, so if we had 32 times 68, one of the ways in which we can do that is to consider it as 30 and 2 and 60 and 8. And if we work out the area of each rectangle, so this rectangle is 30 by 60, which is an area of 1,800. The next one is 2 wide and 60 long, so that's an area of 120. Then we'd have 30 wide and 8 deep, which is an area of 240, and the last one is an area of 16. And if we add those all together, we get 2,176. So the grid method is the same idea. So I'm going to draw our grid. And the two brackets, remember, were x plus 5 and x plus 6. So that's made up of an x and a plus 5. And down the left-hand side, we'll write x and plus 6. And what we do is we look at that and find the area. So this rectangle is x wide and x deep. So x multiplied by x is x squared. Then we've got x wide, or x deep and 5 wide. So that is going to have an area of 5x. The next one is 6 deep and a width of x. So length times breadth gives us an area of 6x. And then the last one we can see is 6 deep and 5 wide, and that's going to have an area of 30. So what we do is we add them all together. We've got x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 30. We look for like terms, and we can see that 5x and 6x are like, so we can combine those, and we've got x squared plus 11x plus 30. So those are three separate methods to work out expanding double brackets. So examples, expand these brackets. So the first one I'm going to do all three methods, and then we'll do one of each for the rest. So x plus 5 upon x plus 4. I'm going to use the FOIL method first of all. So I need to multiply the first two together. And x times x gives me x squared. Then I'm going to multiply the outside ones together. And x times 4 is 4x. So that's my outer. Then I'm going to do the inside ones. And 5 times x is 5x. And then I have to do the last, which is the 5 times 4. And I get 20, not 9. Remember, we're multiplying each time. So the common mistake people will do is they'll do 5 plus 4 instead of multiplied by. Then we can look for terms that are similar. And we can see we've got a 4x and a 5x. That'll give us 9x. So the whole thing simplifies to x squared plus 9x plus 20. So that was FOIL method. I could have used it as splitting it into two separate terms. So that would have been x upon x plus 4 plus 5 upon x plus 4. So remember the first term in the first bracket, we multiply it with the second bracket. So we've got the x and the x plus 4. And then we do the 5 multiplied by the x plus 4 to do that. So we're multiplying each term in the second bracket by each term in the first. Then we just multiply out single brackets. So we multiply everything inside the bracket by the term outside. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 4 is 20. We can collect like terms, and again we can see that we've got a 4x and a 5x that are alike. So that's going to give us 9x. So altogether we've got x squared plus 9x plus 20, which is what we had. Or we can do it a third way, which is using the grid. and the numbers across the top is going to be an x and a +5. Down the bottom is an x and a +4. And we look for area. In the first one, it's x deep and x wide. Multiply those together for x squared. Then the next one, x wide by 5. So that's going to be 5x. Then 4 by x, which is 4x. And then 4 by 5, which is 20. And then we've got x squared plus 5x plus 4x plus 20. We can see again that there are like terms of 5x and 4x. They combine to give 9x, which is x squared plus 9x plus 20 for a third time. Example B then, we've got x plus 7 upon x minus 3. I'm going to use FOIL just for this one. So we multiply the first together, so that's x times x, and that's x squared. Then I go to the outside ones, so that's x and minus 3. And that gives us minus 3x. Then I need to do my inside terms, so that's 7 and x. And 7 times x is 7x. So that's my inner ones. Then I need to do the last, which is 7 times minus 3 times minus 3, not take away, it's 7 times. And that gives us minus 21. That's our last. Then we need to do, we look for similar terms, and hopefully we can see that we've got a minus 3x and a 7x. Minus 3 plus 7 is minus 3 and 7, which is 4x. So this simplifies to x squared plus 4x minus 21. Part C, x plus 1 squared. Well, anything squared means we multiply it by itself. So we're going to have x plus 1 upon x plus 1. And I'm going to use the 2 brackets term or method. So what we do is we separate it with x multiplied by the second bracket, and then plus 1 multiplied by the second bracket. So that's going to equal x upon x plus 1, and then plus 1 upon x plus 1. And this was the first 2 terms, and then this was the second one. So to do this, we multiply inside the bracket by the term immediately outside. So we're going to have x multiplied by x, which is x squared. X multiplied by 1 is 1x. Then we've got 1 times x, which is 1x, and 1 plus 1, which is 1. We look for similar terms, and we can see we've got a 1x and another 1x. They combine together to give 2x. So we're going to have x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then D, I'm going to use the grid method for this. So the first bracket is x minus 4, so it's an x and a minus 4. The second bracket is x minus 3, so it's an x and a minus 3. So we're looking for the area of these, so we've got x multiplied by x, and that gives us x squared. Then the next one, it's minus 4 wide and x deep. And if we multiply those, we get minus 4x. Then we've got a depth of minus 3 and a width of x. So that's going to give us an area of minus 3x. And then a depth of minus 3 and a width of minus 4. We're going to have minus 3 times minus 4. Now a minus times a minus is a positive, so the answer is going to be positive. And then 3 4s are 12. So the total area is x squared, add minus 4x, add minus 3x, and then add 12. Now the plus and the minuses just simplify to give a minus 4x and a minus 3x plus 12. So really there's no need to do the adding. We just write it as x squared minus 4x minus 3x and plus 12. So whatever they are, we just leave it there. If they don't have a sign, so we might have just left that as 12, then it would need to have a plus in front of it. So we look to see if there's anything in common, and we can see that there's a minus 4x and a minus 3x. Minus 4 take away 3 goes down the number line to become more negative, and we've got x squared minus 7x plus 12. So that's not a case where two minuses make a positive. That's more of a case in the number line where we're starting at minus 4 and then we're taking away 3, which ends up at minus 7.